New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By Nobody Beats the Wiz. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz. By the team of Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. And by Citibank. The city never sleeps.
Back at the Garden, set for the introduction of the Hertz starting lineups. Let's pick up the public address.
At guard, at 6'5" from Illinois, number 13, Kendall Gibb. And forward, at 6'7" from UNLV, number 2, Larry Johnson. And forward, at 6'7" from Richmond, number 22, Johnny Newman. And at center at 6'10" from Georgetown, number 33, Alonzo Mourning. The assistant trainer is Dave Jovanovich. The trainer, Terry Koffler. Assistant coaches Bill Hanslick and T.R. Dunn. And head coach, Alan Bristow. And now, please welcome the Atlantic Division champions, your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. At guard at 6'4" from Marquette, number 25, Doc Rivers. At forward at 6'10" from the University of Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. Forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, co-captain Charles Oakley. And at center, at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Welch, assistant coaches of Jake Carter and Chip Van Gundy, and the head coach for the Knicks, the 92-93 NBA Coach of the Year, Pat Riley.
This crowd reacting to the announcement made yesterday. Pat Riley named the NBA Coach of the Year. And yesterday, following practice, Bruce Beck talked with Pat about winning Coach of the Year honors.
I think, you know, when you're involved in this kind of profession, you develop a definitive philosophy about award, you know, receiving. And you know, I'm really honored, you know, by the award, grateful for it, thankful for it. I know there's a lot of people that you have to thank because of their cooperation and hard work, and I happen to be the one that receives it, and I feel very strongly that individual awards have to be team awards, and even though I'm being recognized for this, you know, I accept it humbly on behalf of the team, and I really feel that strongly about it.
Well, Marv, it was the closest vote in the 21-year history of that award. And Pat went on to further say, I feel awkward winning this if Patrick Ewing is not named most valuable player this year.
All right, the officials, Jack Madden, Ed T. Rush, Joe Forte. A look from the overhead camera. The overhead camera shot brought to you by the Upper Deck Company. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. And the ball awarded to the Knicks. Charles Oakley will put it in play at center court. Only 4 teams have ever come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a best-of-7 series. And that is what is facing the Charlotte Hornets as they come into tonight's Game 5. Doc Rivers for Charles Smith, and Rivers for the open 3. Rebound Oakley. Rejected. The Knicks want a goaltend. A foul has been called. The basket counts, says Ed Rush. They get the goaltend. And Oakley will go to the line.
Doc Rivers going to the long one. Ewing misses on this rebound. Oakley right there. Knocked away by Mourning. That shot was allowed. So Charles Oakley opens the game possibly with a three-point play.
Larry Johnson called for the foul, and the Knicks with a 3-0 lead. Johnny Newman, a question mark, is in the starting lineup despite the leg injury. Folds played by Rivers. This is Newman and Johnson. Early chant of defense from the crowd. They double up on Mourning, and a foul is called. Oakley came over to help out.
Well, Marv, after the success that the Chicago Bulls enjoyed once again last night, concluding their series with Cleveland, I think these knowledgeable New York fans want the Knicks to show their best stuff, as does Pat Riley and his coaching staff, and dispose of the Charlotte Hornets so they can get ready mentally and physically for the Bulls.
Ewing called for that foul. Here's Mourning going right at it and then pops it back out. Kendall Gill for the fadeaway. Kendall Gill has really struggled. Mourning on the rebound. Knicks 3 and the Hornets 2. Kendall Gill 8 for 16, 21 points on Sunday, but shooting only 39% in the playoffs. A kneeing foul called on Johnny Newman. Johnny Newman, the one-time New York Knick, bothered by a sprained left knee. There was the thought that he would miss the game tonight. Has not practiced the last couple of days, but he is in the starting lineup.
Johnny Newman showing his toughness, and you know he wants to excel here in New York, his old playground.
Oakley given the open shot. And Newman hits the deck. Foul is called. Loose ball foul. It's on Smith, his first.
You know what was most unusual about that pass by Ewing, Marv? He threw it left-handed. He looked like a lefty, actually, showing his ambidextrous qualities.
Patrick Ewing with a terrific game on Sunday. Came out extremely aggressive as a response to the morning performance on Friday night. Oakley with the rejection. And a hard fall taken by Newman, who is all right. Alan Bristow upset. He wanted a foul.
Johnny Newman doing a nice job penetrating. Got by Smith, but not Charles Oakley.
Mourning from way out. Rivers pops it down. Folds able to break it up. Good play by Muggsy. Folds' pass went through the hands of Johnson. Now Oakley ahead of the field. The Knicks lead 5-2.
Well, there's an example of sometimes it pays not to hustle back on defense. Oakley got the easy one.
And the Knicks get it back. And there's Folds picking up Rivers deep in the backcourt.
Pat Riley electing to let Rivers do it all by himself. No one coming up to help him out.
Doc Rivers picked up 3 stitches above the right eye. You can see it. The result of a Folds elbow. Another steal by Folds. Muggsy pitches out to Gill. And here's Folds with the shot. The Knicks lead 5-4.
Charles Smith showed once again how soft he can be inside the foul line. He just turned around and bumped into a Charlotte player and coughed that ball right up. Good thing about his game on Sunday was he got into it early, and that's so important for Charles to do that.
And Rivers aggressively drove the lane. On a couple of occasions, it appeared that Rivers would give it up, but he kept going.
He hung that little split second, it appeared. I don't know how he got that shot off.
Knicks by 3. Oh, the steal by Rivers. Doc Rivers providing a 9-4 Knick lead. So Doc has come out in aggressive fashion. Mourning squaring up. Rebounded by Smith. 3 minutes gone by. The Knicks with the ball and a 9-4 lead. John Starks gets the pick, gives it back, and Ewing extends to 11-4. Charlotte wants to talk it over. 20-second timeout has been called.
Very exciting stuff going on here. Patrick Ewing coming up for the pick. John Starks pick and roll. Ewing with lots of room. A flying one-handed slam dunk by Patrick Ewing that electrified the fans here at the Garden.
Well, the Knicks opening up by hitting 5 of 7. Hornets, as you saw, 2 of 6 from the field. And the Knicks have come out in aggressive style, and they have been sparked by Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers pouring it all out early here in the opening moments, showing the leadership that he's shown time and again. How did he get that shot up? He seemed to be on his way down, but he got that ball up and in the basket. And that was followed by a big steal and another hoop.
Alan Bristow calling the 20, trying to settle his team down here at the start. And a push is called on Oakley as Larry Johnson, check that, Charles Smith called for that foul as Johnson tried to set up, and that is a quick 2 on Smith.
When that happens, it usually opens the door up for Anthony Mason, and that's precisely what's going on now as Pat Riley goes to Mason.
Charles Smith had a good bounce-back game against the Hornets on Sunday, a very strong 35 minutes. Very sloppy start by the Hornets. And as a result, Anthony Mason was quiet offensively on Sunday. But Mason getting set to come on. Here's Smith. Well, he would have liked a parting field goal. David Wingate, who just checked in, rebounded by Starks.
What if the Hornets realize Larry Johnson's on their team? He hasn't touched the ball yet.
Smith from Ewing, and Charles getting it up high off the glass. Knicks 13, the Hornets 4.
Looked like it slipped out of his hand, but it slipped right into the hoop.
Now Johnson with it. Oakley in his face. Kendall Gill. Larry Johnson off the head fake. Open shot for David Wingate. Ewing with the rebound. Knicks look to run again. This time the Hornets get back. Smith had it knocked away. Good play by Wingate. And now Smith will go to the bench, replaced by Mason.
Well, David Wingate came right in and took that ball away from Charles. Charles presented the ball to Wingate, making it a little easier for him to get it.
David Wingate has been bothered by sore knees in recent weeks. One of the reasons it's so significant for Johnny Newman to be able to play tonight, because if Newman were not available, that certainly shortens the Charlotte bench. All right, Starks for the open shot. The Knicks 15, the Hornets 4.
John's played so many roles for the Knicks in this playoff series, mainly a playmaking role.
Another steal, Rivers from Mason. And Mason goes all the way and goes and rebound Rivers. See, Mason should have given it back.
Absolutely.
Mason should have given the ball back to Rivers.
And he suffered the consequences because he didn't have enough running room. Or he ran out of legs for that final thrust.
Pulled up short. Gill had it knocked away by Rivers. And a foul is called. Well, the Hornets have gone 2 minutes and 59 seconds without a point. A 10-0 run by the Knicks. That reach in by Rivers, and a foul was called as we take a break.
Harley-Davidson of Essex, Bloomfield.
Well, John, beginning with this Sunday's playoff game, be it a Game 7 against Charlotte, should the series extend, or a Game 1 against the Chicago Bulls, as a special MSG Sports Desk presentation, the MSG Crack basketball crew will be on hand with special coverage, post-game coverage that will include the news conferences conducted by Coach Pat Riley and the visiting coach, extensive interviews by Al Trotwood and yourself. Perhaps the czar of the Telestrator might drop by if the rewards are just. And we'll be doing this right throughout the playoffs. Even if the games are on NBC, there will be MSG special coverage, post-game coverage. And that would start on Sunday, following either a 7th game against Charlotte or a game 1 against Chicago. I understand you have already been assigned to the losers locker room, no matter what the result is. That accurate?
Well, Marv, the way I look at it, everybody's a winner here in the playoffs.
I see. Knicks 15 of the Hornets 6. So the 10-0 run has been stopped. Ewing sets up against Mourning. Doc Rivers with an exceptional start. Rivers battling, and it's taken by Bowles. Here's Bowles for Mourning. Offensive foul. John Starks establishing position, and the foul is on Mourning. That is his first.
Let's see if Starks plants himself. Yes, he does, and Mourning ignores him, or didn't see him. Mourning is 6'10". Starks and Oakley are stars in that department.
Rivers setting up against Bowles. Here's Ewing, rejected by Mourning. Oakley on the recovery. 5 on the 24. Mason with the good position, and he's fouled. Larry Johnson called for the foul. Larry Johnson, his second, 13 foul committed by the Hornets.
Mourning has done a good job in the last 2 moves by Patrick Ewing. The one that just occurred with Patrick going across the lane right to left. Patrick didn't dish out enough deception in that move, and on the prior jump shot, Mourning made Ewing take it another step or 2 out from where he wanted to, fighting him for position.
Mason 68% free throw shooter.
It's a good test for the Knicks, Marv, because we have a technical called.
It appears that Larry Johnson continued the argument after that last foul, which was not appreciated by Ed Rush. And a technical has been called on Johnson. So Rivers will shoot the tee. Well, the Knicks have missed the last 2 from the line, and now Mason will take another crack at it.
Larry Johnson, who I feel plays the game with a smile. In the heat of combat, he comes up out of many situations with a big smile, not showing it so far.
Knicks with a 16-6 lead. Johnson setting up against Oakley. Oh, nice move, but he could not finish it off. And it's taken by Mason. Good save by Anthony Mason. Rivers for Ewing. Touch pass for Oakley, and he's fouled. Oh, no. That's what the Hornets thought, but apparently the ball was knocked away. Nice block by Mourning. No foul call. But the crowd appreciative of the ball movement by the Knicks. Nice recovery by Mourning. Here's Starks. Rebound Ewing. And the Knicks can reset. 5.5 remaining in this first quarter. Here's the double team. Ewing. The back tap from Johnson. Bowles has a 3-on-2. Bowles with a pull-up. Johnson rebounds and has picked up his third. 3 fouls here in the early going on Larry Johnson.
That's a killer for them. Mason had the inside position, which is exactly what he wanted. Larry Johnson's so aggressive that he went for that ball. He's also angry from that last technical, so he had a little extra juice going out there. Mason with a great position, and Larry goes up and commits the foul.
John, I know it's a second guess, but I wonder why Briscoe didn't take him out after the second and a technical. However,
well, it's a gambling situation. Technically, he should have, but he's also nowhere in many ways without Larry Johnson.
Well, Gaddison has come on, replacing Johnson. Shot clock at 4. Rivers. Knicks have missed their last 7 shots after starting out on fire. Wingate guarded by Mason. Wingate. And the foul is called. Wingate able to get the step. Ewing trying to help out against his one-time Georgetown teammate and was called for flashing an elbow. Now Ewing was called for a technical foul. Ewing did not like that call. Ewing felt that he was pushed.
Well, Patrick's going to get a chance to cool down.
And Herb Williams will come on, replacing Patrick Ewing as Muggsy Bogues converts the tee. Herb Williams played so well in coming on for Ewing on Sunday.
Dynamite drive by Wingate. And there was contact on that play, which Patrick Ewing didn't feel, and that's what he so clearly disagreed with.
Well, Herb Williams with 10 points on 4 out of 4 from the field in Game 4 came through with some enormous plays. Prior to Sunday, he had seen only 32 minutes of action in the postseason.
Patrick got in trouble in the first quarter Sunday in Charlotte, had to come out, and this man came off the bench, Herb Williams, and gave the team a tremendous lift.
Look at that stat line. Hornets not scored a field goal in 5 minutes, 7 seconds and counting. Knicks 16, Hornets 9. There's pressure on the ball. Wingate all over Mason. Anthony warming up perhaps for the trap that the Knicks will face against the Chicago Bulls. Starks puts the move on Gill, and the Knicks lead 18-9. Bogues accelerates to the reverse. Well, he beat Starks, but he could not finish it off. Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. Oakley, Williams, and Mason up front. Ewing and Smith sitting down after picking up 2 fouls each. Rivers for 3. And rebounded by Mourning.
Knicks want to establish that they can get a lead, keep it, and keep it getting bigger and bigger. The trap they seem to fall into is they get a lead early and then they slow down and allow the other team to come back as Muggsy Bogues hits that jumper, wide open jumper.
Well, the Hornets go 6 minutes, 2 seconds without a field goal. Muggsy hitting on his second has 5 points. The Knicks with a 7-point edge. Williams from Starks. Kendall Gill has been very quiet. Wingate with the spin. And that's a goaltend.
Well, David Wingate on the side jumper. That ball's on its way down to the basket, although it appeared in many ways that it was short of the basket.
From our angle, it looked like it was coming up short. But as you mentioned, Herb Williams took it on the way down. So the goaltend cuts that Knick lead to 18-13 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining. And the first quarter, light pressure being exhibited by the Hornets.
This looks like they're trying to post up Doc Rivers down low. That's why he didn't bring the ball up.
Double team, and Bogues able to sneak around for the steal. Here's Gill. Oh, he's crunched, and that's a flagrant. A flagrant foul called on Charles Oakley. Oh, and Oakley shoves Bogues away as Bogues had something to say to Oakley.
Actually, not in anger, more like Bugsy, don't bug me.
Don't bug me, Berger.
But meanwhile, that was a tough foul.
And a timeout is taken. We'll be right back.
You can feel it the driving. No months to pay it. Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
A real winner knows how to party right. Please use good sense when you drink and know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Well, a little controversy here. Muggsy Bogues covering a lot of ground quickly. Snaps that away from Anthony Mason. Pushes it up court. This is the Charlotte Hornets game. Now that didn't look vicious from that angle. But from this angle, it may look a little different as Charles Oakley comes over and rocks Kendall Gill. Flagrant foul on that call by Jack Madden. Charles Oakley's mystified. Muggsy Bogues comes over to harass Charles Oakley, and he gets a piece of Charles Oakley's right arm. Get out of here, guy. Muggsy's annoying in many ways, Marv. These Knicks won't forget him that soon.
Well, Kendall Gill will go to the line to shoot the 2 shots, and then it will be Charlotte possession. Kendall Gill in his 3rd year out of Illinois.
His scoring dropped off a bit this year, mainly due to the presence of Alonzo Mourning. He was a 20-point guy, but now he became a 16-point scorer this year. But in the playoffs, he's been disappointing until the other day.
Right, only 39% for the entire playoffs. Have an 8 for 16, 21 points on Sunday. And Del Curry's ineffectiveness has also hurt. 33% overall. Look at that, 0 for 6 from three-point range, excluding that one good game he had against Boston in the first round series. Del Curry had a 27-point game, 12 for 17. He's only 33% in the playoffs. All right, here's Mourning. Alonso has been off in the early going. That was last touched by the Knicks. Rick Anthony has come on for Doc Rivers. So it's Anthony and Starks in the backcourt with Williams, Mason, and Oakley up front. Wingate. And Gill to the fadeaway. Rebounded by Mourning, and a new 24 for the Hornets.
Mourning is so fast to a rebound.
.2:15 remaining in this first quarter. That's Gaddison. It counts. And the foul. Kenny Gaddison goes 6'8", about 255 pounds. Last year he was forced to play center despite the 6'8", and he was terribly undersized. Took a beating, but gave a tremendous effort, as you see the play by Gaddison, who was going to the free throw line. And Gaddison has been very valuable coming off the bench as a backup center and backup power forward this season.
That's where he's perfectly suited. He was always overmatched as a starting center the last 2 years.
He's a guy, though, the Knicks love to see going to the line. A very poor free throw shooter. That Knick lead is down to 2. And here's Mason. So the Knicks now lead 20-16. Knicks have led by as many as 11. Early on, they had that 10-0 run. Charlotte went 6 minutes without a field goal, but they've managed to work their way back into it. Wingate. And back comes Anthony. Minute and a half left in this opening quarter. Orlando Blackman getting set to check in for the first time, and he will hear it from the crowd. Oakley with a post-up. Beautiful move. Well, that's one we haven't seen.
You wonder, you know, why is a move like that kept under wraps? So that was beautifully done by Charles Oakley.
Foul called on the Knicks, and here comes Rolando Blackman, one of the heroes on Sunday, with the game-winning shot with 5.5 seconds remaining in regulation. Here's Blackman with the jump shot that turned out to be the game winner against the Hornets on Sunday.
Rolando, one of the many heroes off the bench for the Knicks on Sunday. Hubert Davis also played a key role once again, as did Herb Williams in that very impressive win. And Rolando, in typical class fashion, handled it well. Didn't overreact at all. It's what he's used to doing over the years. He's a very fine, clutch player.
Foul committed by Herb Williams, putting Alonzo Mourning at the line for the first time. Yes, Rolando Blackman, through an injury-plagued regular season, averaged only 9.7 per game. He expected more. The Knicks expected more, but he was hammered by a series of injuries in the postseason, averaging only 5.9, so you know that game-winning shot felt very good. Now Blackman is being hounded by Curry, who just came on. Here's the pressure by the Hornets. Starks able to move it by Bogues, trying to save it, could not.
And you know,
wait a moment. Last touch by Bogues is the call, and a 20-second timeout taken by the Knicks. Well, perhaps Starks called the timeout before he went out of bounds. Well, we'll see right here.
Well, Charlotte succeeded in stopping Blackman deep, and that's the part of the plan of the pressure.
Yep, he called the timeout. John has done that on a number of occasions.
Yes, he did it most dramatically earlier this season, mid-air timeout, and he did it successfully then.
So a heads-up play by John Starks, and the Knicks maintain possession. Down to 57 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the Knicks lead by the score of 22-18. Well, looking at the Eastern Conference rundown, the Chicago Bulls have advanced past Atlanta and past Cleveland, and they're waiting in the wings in the West. Phoenix, San Antonio tied 2 apiece. Same for Houston and Seattle. Anthony. And a foul is called. Mason going for the rebound was held back. Gaddison called for his first. Now Bowles will sit down, and Tony Bennett checks in for the first time. Bennett, the rookie from Wisconsin Green Bay, who has the good outside touch.
Mason doing a terrific job on the boards for the Knicks because of Charles Smith's excellent game in playing time the other day in Charlotte. Anthony Mason didn't have his normal impact. In fact, didn't have a field goal in the game, but he went to the boards readily, got himself 7 rebounds in 29 minutes of play, and he's doing a terrific job causing problems for the Hornets on the boards tonight. He's getting position time and again.
The Knicks have a 6-point lead. Bennett and Curry now at the guards. Mourning with Gaddison and Wingate up front. Here's Mourning. Continues to shoot from the outside, not hitting. Gaddison gets in. Rebounded by Williams. And it's Mason ahead of the field. Mason rejected by Mourning. What timing by Alonzo Mourning, who did not want to pick up a foul. 20 seconds left in the quarter. The Knicks lead 24-18.
Mason has picked up Mourning now on defense.
Final seconds of this first quarter. Shot clock at 2. Down to 1. Wingate. And that's the end of the first quarter. The Knicks 24, the Hornets 18. Of most significance, that man, Larry Johnson, has had to sit out a good portion of the first quarter after picking up his 3rd personal foul.
If you find the interest,
take your computer to the max.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok there are no boundaries. By Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car. And by Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Welcome back to the Garden. We're in the 4th row talking to the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. And Commissioner, it has to give you an awful lot of satisfaction to have seen a position of drafting put into place that allows a team in its 5th year here challenging one of the elite teams in the NBA.
No question about it. The draft and the salary cap work to make our teams competitive and entertaining.
Can you objectively look at something they did and say that was the right way to go?
I think that building through the draft is good. It also pays to get a little lucky when you pick Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning back-to-back.
Thanks, Commissioner. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Al, second quarter is underway. The Knicks with a 6-point lead. Offensive foul. It's on Greg Anthony. The Knicks opening up this second quarter with Anthony and Blackman in the back. No, Starks also a 3-guard alignment along with Williams and Mason. Hornets only 5 for 20 from the field in the first quarter. Knicks opened up hot and finished 10 of 26. Sidney Green handling against Herb Williams. Bennett, Wingate, Curry, Green, and Gaddison on the floor for Alan Bristow of Charlotte. Nice move. Gaddison gets inside. The Knicks 24 and the Hornets 20.
Pat Riley has gone to the 3-guard approach several times in this series. Always, of course, depending on matchups. With Wingate out there who plays as a forward, it gives him the opportunity to go with Rolando.
Wingate slipped and fell down. Here's Herb Williams. Williams on the tip. Well, those were good opportunities for Herb Williams, but he could not hit. Tony Bennett handling. Del Curry guarded by John Starks. Patrick Ewing getting set to make his return. Gaddison checked the shot clock. It's down to 3. Here's Gaddison, had to force it. Oh, what a shot. Well, Gaddison has come on and done a job. 6 points, and he's brought the Hornets within 2.
That offense was going nowhere. They're so different without Muggsy out there. Tony Bennett is a shooter, not a playmaker.
Starks on a quick release. Yes. John Starks with his 3rd field goal. He has 6. The Knicks 26, the Hornets 22.
Charles Oakley and Kendall Gill getting ready to come back, smiling, chatting away. Actually, they seem to like each other.
Why are you surprised? There's Del Curry, and now he is a dangerous man. Del Curry, if he hits his first shot, can go on a streak. And the Knicks, very aware of that, I would think, will be uptight on Curry. 2-point Nick Lee.
Both Gill and Oakley have been sent back to their respective benches after appearing ready to come into the game.
Leg block has been called. Timeout is taken. We'll be back in a moment.
Along with 50 other standard amenities, the Nissan Maxima GXE has a keyless entry system on the door. This system allows you to unlock doors, open the trunk, and even open windows automatically. But if you think the door is impressive, just imagine what's behind it. Now you can lease a Maxima for just $1,000 down and $269 a month for 24 months.
They come from different cities, different states, different worlds. They're as different as the courts they learn to play on. They share almost nothing in common, except what it takes to make it to the highest court in the land, and what they'll wear when they get there. Champion is proud to be the official maker of all the uniforms for the NBA.
You know, if life were perfect, women wouldn't talk during the bottom of the night.
Yeah, and magazines would never smell like perfume.
No. See, if life were perfect, potato chips would cure hair loss. Dogs would walk themselves.
And algebra. It would actually come in handy.
Well, hey, at least there's Amstel Light. It's only 95 calories.
Yeah, but it still has that real imported taste.
Nothing's missing. Amstel Light is a great beer.
Look, if life were perfect, you'd buy the next round.
All right. I'm buying.
You got a camera?
Charlotte coach Alan Bristow, a star at Virginia Tech, second-round draft pick of the Sixers in '73. And he remembers a big game that he had here at Madison Square Garden while at Virginia Tech. There he is, number 44 on the left of your screen. This is the NIT final against Notre Dame. Now you will see off this missed shot in the final seconds, the tip back, a back tap by Bristow to Bobby Stevens, and that's Stevens with the jump shot, and that's the game winner to knock off the Fighting Irish for Virginia Tech. Foul called on that inbound. It's on Sidney Green. Alan Bristow. We'll get back to that in a moment. Alan Bristow began as director of basketball operations with Charlotte after 7 seasons as an assistant, and front office executive with the Denver Nuggets.
Nice idea by Greg Anthony delivering to Ewing, but it was a poorly thrown pass.
And Kendall Gill hits the reverse.
When the offense is moving for Charlotte as it is now, it is very dangerous. When they're forced to go to the half court, they're not as effective.
Game is tied at 26. The foul is called on, let's see, as the ball knocked out of bounds. Apparently deflected out by Charlotte. So Blackman will throw in. Gilbert Davis has checked in for the first time. He has played a prominent role in this series. Davis, yes, and it counts. So Davis will go to the line. He was fouled by Green.
Now, Hubert loves jump shooting. He's very good at it. But he's got a desire to go down the heart of the defense as he does against Charlotte and score. He's got a toughness about him, a bit of a killer instinct in so doing. I mean, he created that hole. That wasn't wide open for him. He made it happen.
Alonzo Mourning is back. Yes, Hubert Davis, despite that innocent look, as you say, does have that toughness. He did the job against the Hornets in games 2 and 3. The Knicks with a 3-point lead. 8:45 remaining. Second quarter. Gaddison now up front along with Mourning. And 3 guards on the floor. That's Gaddison with the left-hand move. Rebound Anthony. Dribble through the pack. Very fortunate to get away with that dribble move. Blackman is fouled. Hornets look for a tie-up. It's called on Curry, his first, and Rolando will go to the line.
Meanwhile, Patrick Ewing never even made it to half court after being clobbered on that Gaddison move inside. Patrick thought he could draw the offensive foul, didn't succeed, but the ball moved up court, and finally Blackman made something happen.
Knicks with a 30-26 lead. Knicks have led by as many as 11. They jumped in front 15-4. They had a 10-0 run at one stretch in the first quarter. Charlotte went 6 minutes, 2 seconds without a field goal in the first quarter. Then they went on a 10-2 run to get back into it. Right now, the Knicks have a 5-point lead. Tony Bennett operating with the left hand against Greg Anthony. Able to switch hands on the dribble. Morning missed the stop. He is now 1 for 6. Oakley open, hesitated. Rebounded by Ewing.
See, Charles doesn't have the mind of a shooter. He's not looking to shoot. So finally, when he realized he had to shoot, he really wasn't ready.
Blackman back for Anthony. They double up on Ewing. Shot clock at 7. Good defensive sequence here by the Hornets. Shot clock at 2, and Anthony has to take it. Yes. Greg Anthony with the shot clock running down. Drilled it. The Knicks lead by 7.
Nice look and judgment by Ewing, giving him that ball, even though he knew that shot clock was ticking away.
Kendall Gill, good look to the basket. He continues to have his problems. Blackman try to do it off the dribble. And we have a palming violation on Rolando Blackman.
The rarely called palming violation.
The Knicks 33, the Hornets 26. 5 minutes gone by. Second quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres, Al Troutwig, Walt Clyde Frazier from the Garden. Knicks hoping to wrap the series in 5 as Del Curry is able to pop it home. A rainbow jump shot by Curry. The Hornets hope to bring it back to Charlotte for a Game 6 on Thursday night.
Blackman was all over Curry. Good sign for the Hornets that he hit that shot.
Anthony, yes. Well, Greg Anthony has hit 2 consecutive jump shots.
Well, he's not being guarded as a shooter. They don't respect him. That's clear. Tony Bennett ran away from him, actually.
Knicks with a 7-point lead. Here's Gill. Well, Kendall Gill with his second field goal. The Knicks 35, Charlotte 30. Knicks staying with the 3 guards, Anthony, Davis, and Blackman, along with Ewing and Oakley. The recovery by Davis, in for the reverse. Back comes Bennett. Here's a 3-point attempt. Gill keeps it alive. Oh, what a play by Kendall Gill.
Now that's athleticism. The strength to go up and get his hand on that ball, and then the presence and bearing to finish the play as well as he did.
And Blackman lost it. It will be Charlotte ball, but first a timeout call by Pat Riley.
Who's dropping by? Guests like these. Live from the play-by-play with Mike Francesa, only on...
Where do you go to buy a Nissan? The dealership that offers true customer satisfaction. Hilltop Nissan in East Hanover. Hilltop Nissan offers their customers low prices on great selections of new Nissans and quality pre-owned vehicles. And because Hilltop Nissan is an exclusive Nissan dealer, expect the attention you deserve from specialized service technicians to a staff of helpful sales professionals. Bob Molinari's Hilltop Nissan, Route 10 West, East Hanover. It's where you go to buy a Nissan.
The Suzuki Chitana 600, easily identified flying object.
The Motorcycle Mall, 165 Washington Avenue, Belleville. Let the Motorcycle Mall get you on board for the ultimate riding experience.
Ever wonder why they put curves in roads? The Honda CBR 900RR, the CBR 600 F2, and the VFR 750F. Well, those are three obvious reasons right there.
The Motorcycle Mall, 165 Washington Avenue, Belleville. Let the Motorcycle Mall get you on board for the ultimate riding experience.
Well, the game always expressed inside around the basket, so important. Our Dutch boy in the paint numbers this evening showing that the Knicks doing a big job there, 18-8, despite Patrick Ewing only having 2 points thus far. Rebounding department also, the Knicks are in charge there. A lot of balance out there by the Knicks. Kendall Gill, that's your basic two-guard in the NBA, playing like a 6'10" man. Kendall Gill showing he can hit the boards and put that ball in the hole even after he rebounds as well as he can do.
Muggsy Bogues is back on the floor. Hornets go to the weave to set up Mourning. They triple team Mourning. Here's Bogues. Knicks 35 and the Hornets 34. Muggsy with his third bucket. He has 7. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Doc Rivers is back. Rivers with a nice lead for Charles Smith, who just checked back in, and the foul is called on Gaddison. The Hornets have gone most of this first half without the services of that man. Larry Johnson picking up a third foul early in the first quarter. He is only 0 for 1, and that's it. He also picked up a technical foul right after his second and then was called for a third foul.
Well, the coaching strategies of Alan Bristow have certainly, in contrast to Pat Riley in particular, have been criticized throughout this series. But you know Alan Bristow feels pretty smart right now. His team is a basket away from the Knicks, and he hasn't had the services of Larry Johnson.
I like the statement from Larry Johnson regarding the defensive work of Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason. Larry saying, I have 1,001 moves, and Oakley and Mason know all 1,001 because they're playing game in, game out in this series.
Yes, in response to how do you feel, Larry, about playing against a team that gets to know you so well?
All right, here's Mourning. Air ball. And Alonso's now 1 of 7. Mourning and Ewing have been very quiet in this first half. Ewing is 1 for 4. Mourning is 1 for 7. And overall, Mourning is 5 for his last 23. That goes back to the game on Sunday. 4 for 16 on Sunday. Kickball call. Knicks get the new 24. Ewing comes out to set the pick. Ewing being played by Gaddison. Oakley guarded by Mourning. Good play by Bogues to knock it away. Ewing saves it, banking it off Bogues. But apparently the call by the outside official, Jack Madden, was that Ewing had stepped out, and the ball goes to Charlotte.
When the ball goes to Ewing, Bogues is all over him as well as other people. Bogues doing a good job on that play, confusing the issue. The Knicks have and Patrick Ewing have not shown that they're handling double and triple teaming very well tonight.
And that is a problem that the Knicks know that they would be facing against the Chicago Bulls. Gaddison. Mourning rejected by Ewing. Charlotte wants a goaltend. They will not get it. Here's Smith down the left wing side, feeding Oakley. Knicks 38, Hornets 34.
Well, that's a rare fast break with Oakley and Smith finishing it. Beautifully done.
Just under 4 minutes left in the first half. Mourning lost control. It was kicked out. Last touch by the Knicks.
You know the Chicago Bulls are enjoying this game. And from what they've seen thus far in the first half, you also know they're not very nervous.
John, do you think they're watching the game on the satellite on MSG2 or checking out TNT? We'll be right back.
I wonder.
I'll never forget it. It was the big game. And it was all up to me. years I've been wishing I'd swung at that pitch. Hit or miss, at least I'd have given it a shot. So if you're a guy who wants to find out more about Rogaine with minoxidil, whether it's for you, don't just stand there with a bat on your shoulder. Find out about it.
To find out about Rogaine topical solution, call 1-800-964-2400, and Upjohn will send you an informative brochure about Rogaine. And because only a doctor can prescribe Rogaine, they'll even send you a list of local doctors who can help you decide about it.
If you'd like to find out more about Rogaine with minoxidil, don't stand there with the bat on your shoulder. Make the call now.
The Steve Miller Band, the Wide River Tour 93. Slipping into the future. An incredible night of rock, Friday, July 9th at the Fairmount. The Steve Miller Band. Special guest, the Paul Rogers Band. Tickets now at these locations or charged by phone from Del Center Slater Enterprises and Madison Square Garden.
Yesterday, the announcement, Pat Riley named Coach of the Year. In fact, he will be presented with the award at the end of the halftime here today. And Pat Riley asked about winning MVP, said, well, of course, it's a great honor, but he just doesn't feel right unless Patrick Ewing also takes MVP honors.
I just feel so strongly about him and what he has done this year, and how much he really has sacrificed for this team. I mean, I said this a couple of months ago, and he's been a great leader. He's been a great producer. You know, he's the great one here in New York. He's the hub, basically, of this whole wheel that makes it work. And, you know, I just hope that that they're as kind to him as they were to me in this whole thing.
A little lobbying from Pat Riley, although it's a little late. The votes are already in. Charles Smith taking advantage of the turnover, and the Knicks now lead 40-34. Pat Riley winning by only one vote over Rudy Tomjanovich of Houston. The media vote. Here's Mourning. Alonzo Mourning with his first field goal in some time. He's now 2 of 9 from the floor. The Knicks lead by 4. I did vote for Pat, looking at it very objectively. And I mentioned to Pat it was my vote. That was the deciding vote. Now, how many people do you think have told him that?
Well, everyone who had a vote will get to him sooner or later and look for some credit. Same thing for the MVP, though. It's a media vote. Broadcasters and people who cover teams. So the MVP vote will come from a similar source of voters as those who voted for Pat Riley.
Charles Oakley trying to settle things down. Mourning call for the foul. A look at the final voting. Pat Riley with 32 votes. Rudy T with 31. George Karl of Seattle garnered 10, followed by Paul Westphal with 9. Chuck Daly with 7. You can make a pretty good case for several of these coaches. And MSG Network had a coaches poll, and Rudy Tomjanovich won it convincingly over Pat Riley and John Lucas.
Yes, we polled the coaches around the NBA, and Rudy was the big winner in that department.
So what does that tell us?
Tells us that you never know, Mark.
Yes, is that it? The Knicks with a 6-point lead that was last touched by the Knicks. Could it be that the coaches felt that, well, Pat had won it in the past, and maybe there was empathy for Rudy Tomjanovich, who has done a tremendous job with the Houston Rockets? Could it be the same type of situation that probably will keep the MVP award away from Michael Jordan?
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Crowd wanted to travel on Bogues. Oakley behind the back. Starks on a pull-up. Rebound Ewing. Del Curry fired. And Oakley off the ball. Bad pass. Took a chance and went short. Curry behind the back. Curry shooting. Del Curry finishes it off to bring the Hornets within 4.
Only special shooters can do what he just did. All the confusion of handling the ball and then lining up and getting the shot off and in the basket so quickly.
So Curry a factor here in the first half. He's hit 3 out of 5. The Knicks with a 42-38 lead. Starks. John Starks trying to get into the offense. Not the case on Sunday where he had to handle the ball more frequently. That's a travel call. And the ball goes back to New York. Sidney Green returns. Kenny Gaddison, who did a good job, will sit down. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Gaddison. Looked like he hurt his lower back. Gaddison taking a seat on the bench. Looks to be hurt. David Wingate also makes his return.
Speaking of being hurt, we look at Doc Rivers. Looks like he has makeup on that left eye, but lo and behold, he has.
What's wrong with makeup, John?
Well, it isn't, Marv. I'm here to tell you it's 3 stitches he got from the annoying player who's guarding him right now. In fact, Rivers accused Muggsy Bogues of headbutting him on Sunday. Rivers got 3 stitches.
In fact, it's really annoying the way your makeup is run onto my shirt. Here's Smith. Yes. Charles Smith with his 3rd field goal. He has 9. The Knicks lead by 6. A minute 10 remaining. First half. Gill picked up by Smith. Shot clock at 5. Gill. Air ball handled by Wingate. Mourning. And a foul is called. Alonzo Mourning will go to the line. Oakley called for the foul. Well, they're working on Gaddison. Looked like a lower back, although see the Charlotte trainer Tony Koffler. Now, what is he doing?
Well, you see, Marv, as I said a couple of games ago, the foot is connected to the knee, which is connected to the hip, and it all affects the back.
That's the explanation that I thought would be forthcoming.
There is a song to that effect.
Mourning had hit his first 2 from the line. And it appears that Kenny Gaddison is headed back to the locker room for more extensive treatment. The Knicks by 6, 51 seconds to go in the half. Charlotte Hornets came into the playoffs as the youngest team in the field with the average age at 25, which is unbelievable. That's a foul on Bogues. Their top 8 players average a mere 25.5 years.
When you look at the mobility that the stars of this team have, you look at Mourning, Kendall Gill, and Larry Johnson. Those are the big 3. When they get another player, or possibly 2 of a high caliber, this is a team that's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals on a regular basis. They're loaded with talent, and they play at a very fast pace, and they're just learning how to play with each other now, and they've done a terrific job of it this season. The presence of Alonzo Mourning has changed this team into a formidable contender.
Here's Tony Bennett replacing David Wingate. Sidney Green will depart. Well, the Mourning-Ewing matchup has not produced much in this first half. Mourning 2 for 9, 6 points. He does have 7 rebounds. Ewing 1 out of 6 for only 2 points with 6 rebounds. The Knicks lead by 7. They led by as many as 11 in the first half. 35 seconds to go in the half. Bennett is hit on a reach-in. Rivers going for the steal. Called for his 2nd. And Tony Bennett will go to the line. Tony Bennett, coached by his dad, Dick, while at Wisconsin Green Bay. NCAA's all-time leader in 3-point field goal percentage, just under 50. And John, like yourself, also an academic All-American.
Grade point average, 3.4.
Very strong on and off the court. Knicks lead by 5, half-minute remaining. First half. Stay with us. Right at the end of the half, Knicks coach Pat Riley will be presented with the Coach of the Year award. Shot clock at 10, 15 seconds to go in the half. Starks to 3. And John Starks has been off. Down to 5 seconds in the half. Here's Mourning and a foul. Starks got caught on Mourning. And with 1 and 5/10 seconds to go, Alonzo Mourning will go to the line. The foul called on Starks, his first. Larry Johnson has played only 7 minutes. Sitting down after picking up his 3rd foul, also hit with a technical. Remember, Larry came into this series with the leg injury and was a question mark in the early portion of the series. I get the feeling he has not been himself. I think he's still hurt, but never did get going here in Game 5.
Great part about that last play with Muggsy Bogues recognizing the mismatch of Starks on Mourning, and Muggsy, despite his size, getting the ball in to Alonzo Mourning. Despite being 5'3", he finds all kinds of ways to deliver a pass inside.
Hornets have trimmed the Knicks lead to 4. Alonzo Mourning 3 out of 5 from the line. The Hornets' first-round draft pick, the 2nd pick overall behind Shaquille O'Neal.
He brought shot blocking and an internal defense to this franchise, and it turned them around this year.
45-42, Knicks pressure on the inbounds. Oakley had it picked off by Bogues. Sloppy first half by the Knicks. So the score at the half, the Knicks 45 and the Hornets 42. And we'll keep it right here. There will be a very brief presentation made to Knicks coach Pat Riley for winning Coach of the Year honors. How about the statement from Doc Rivers, who said that Pat's suits are almost a camouflage. He said he dresses nicely in a dapper way, so you kind of expect that kind of personality, but that's not what you get. He should be dressed in camouflage like Norman Schwarzkopf, because Pat Riley is a commander, a general. Doc said it would be funny if Schwarzkopf had worn a nice dapper suit in the press conference during the Gulf War. That's the same with Riley, his intensity and the way he prepares for the game. Some of his speeches, you just know with the speeches that this is something he's put a lot of thought into, and the players just could not stop talking about the motivation skills of Pat Riley when it was announced that he won Coach of the Year honors. Let's go to the public address.
Riley, the 1993 IBM Coach of the Year. Coach Riley guided the Knicks to a 60-22 regular season record, the best in the Eastern Conference, and equaling the winningest mark in the team's 47-year history. Congratulations, Coach Riley, and a special thank you to Commissioner Stern and Jim Riley of IBM.
So NBA Commissioner David Stern on hand to make the presentation. Pat Riley taking Coach of the Year honors for the 2nd time in his career. We'll be back with our halftime in just a moment.
There are and look, feel, and be his best. The Gillette series with Gillette Sensor, it's redefining men's grooming.
Madison Square Garden television announcers have the David Rickey look. Designers of custom wardrobes for men. David Rickey and Company, New York, California, and the world.
A combined 19 turnovers between the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets made things a bit ragged for much of the first half. It is a 3-point lead for the Knicks, 45-42 halftime here at Madison Square Garden. Moments ago, Pat Riley acknowledged his wife, Chris, when he received the NBA Coach of the Year award. I'll be back with Walt Frazier to tell you who scored how many, and we'll have highlights. But first, here's Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk.
Thank you, Alan. As you know, the Knicks not the only New York area team involved in a very important game tonight at Montreal. The Isles playing Game 2 of their Wales Conference Finals series against the Canadians. They lead, Montreal does, 2-1, very late second period. Al Arbor and the Isles got a huge lift with the return of Pierre Turgeon. And at 13:41 of the first on the power play, he redirects Vladimir Malakov's beautiful pass behind Patrick Roy to make it 1-0 for the Isles. But Bellows and Leclerc have scored second period goals for Montreal. Baseball tonight, a game being seen live at this hour over our regular MSG channel. Twins leading the Yankees 3-2 fifth inning. Second inning homers by O'Neill and Mike Stanley had tied the game at 2. But here in the fourth, Pedro Munoz of Minnesota delivers a base hit off Jim Abbott. That scores Brian Harper with what has been the go-ahead run in the ball game. As for the Mets, surprise. They're losing to the Pirates out at Shea, 6-2 now in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pirates rocked mediocre Pete Shurick for 6 runs in the fourth inning. More sterling Mets glove work contributed. Look at Dave Gallagher just butcher that drive off the bat of Andy Van Slyke into an RBI triple, making the score 5-2. Jay Bell's 2-run double had broken a 2-2 tie. Before tonight's game, we asked Jeff Torborg about the intense media criticism of the Mets.
Nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody in the media would like to be criticized. It's part of the environment. There's no doubt about that. Each guy has to find in his own way how he deals with it. But it would be quickly turned around if we were to win. Unfortunately, I think what happens when you get in a spiral like this, everybody tries too hard.
Lo and behold, a Vince Coleman sacrifice fly has made it 6-3 now for the Pirates. I'll have more in a moment.
Sports Desk is brought to you by...
Even when it isn't.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Alamo. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and with Alamo, all those miles are free.
Former Knicks head coach Bob Hill was fired today as head man of the Indiana Pacers. No word on a possible successor, though the Pacers admit that they talked to Rick Pitino and were rebuffed. Pitino's name surfaces with virtually every NBA coaching vacancy these days. Perhaps Kentucky Athletic Director C.M. Newton was worried, so Pitino called a news conference on this issue today.
I want to announce today that, yes, I am going to move on, but it's not what you think to a professional NBA basketball team. C.M. and I have talked about this. It's been a dream of mine for some time, and I've had to wait to meet with the players to coach overseas. So I'm going to be coaching in Sicily next year. They have made me the best offer of any team. It is way off the charts. It is protection for the rest of my life. And it is in more ways than one. What happens if you lose a season? You lose protection. You lose your life if you lose one season.
We'll return to Al Tralway courtside after again this time out.
Powerful, this powerful shoot. It's pretty serious. Light Gear by LA Tech. I think it's an upper class of sneakers on the court. That is real cool. I wonder who thought of this. Some big college AAA master's degree having. There must be some brainy mugs. If people start having too much fun with this, they're gonna ban it. Gotta own the light if you wanna own the night.
Chrysler Plymouth, 4 months, no payment?
Yes! You get 4 months of driving, no months of paying.
Plymouth Acclaim with no payment for 4 months? Gee, it's loaded. Great savings. No down payment, and payments don't start till September.
4 months of driving, no months of paying. Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Dear Midas customers, now save 25% on brake shoes or pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. And we'll fix the brakes on most cars the same day you call. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
No matter what the other local dealers say,
Nationwide sell-off.
Inventory closeout.
Maxon says...
Baloney.
So shop around, check the newspapers, do whatever you got to do to get the lowest price you can on any Pontiac, Honda, Hyundai, Jeep Eagle, GMC truck, or Buick. And Maxon will still beat it. Buy $650 or we'll give you $100 cash.
Nice job, Cox.
Only Maxon is $650 less than all the rest.
Maxon Auto Group.
I need someone to guide me through an exercise program. That's why I hated those flashy gyms. No one cared. At the Cross Training Fitness Studio in Springfield, I get the attention I need. They got to know me, my health, then help me set sensible goals. My husband Joe works with his own personal trainer. Me, I use their semi-private classes. They're affordable, and they fit my lifestyle.
Cross Training Fitness Studio, a personal approach, 530 Morris Ave, Springfield.
MSG's coverage of the NBA playoffs continues as we welcome you back inside the arena with the Knicks leading the Charlotte Hornets by 3. Time for the leading scorer summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Meanwhile, no one beyond 9 points. Charles Oakley had 9 for the Knicks with 7 rebounds. Charles Smith, for his second consecutive impressive performance, 9 points with a rebound. After that, John Stark struggled to get into it, 3 of 8. And Anthony Mason, a little bit of a rough time off the bench, 1 of 3. The Charlotte Hornets were led by Kendall Gills, 9 points. Alonzo Mourning shot 2 of 9 combined. The two centers shot 3 for 15, but Mourning winning the battle for now, 8 points and 7 rebounds. Back with Walt Clyde Frazier. Clyde, I don't remember how many halftimes we've done. It's been a lot. I don't remember how many, if ever, we've ever done with Patrick Ewing standing at halftime with 2 points.
Well, Ewing was off to an inauspicious start because of early foul woes, as well as LJ. LJ has not been a factor in this game. Mourning, as you mentioned, just inept on the offensive end.
Larry Johnson in early foul trouble, saw only 7 minutes in that first half, and he is scoreless. We'll take a look at the highlights, which are brought to you by Minolta, creators of the world's most responsive SLR cameras, the new Maxim XI series. Clyde, Charles Smith, he seems to have found it.
Yeah, resurrection for Smitty. The last game, he propelled the Knicks to the victory with 19 points. So here, posting inside, 6'10", a nice shot over Mourning.
Charles Oakley doing it mostly with defense in this series, but how about this for a move we haven't seen?
The Oakman has been fabulous, now averaging more points than rebounds. Watch the okie dokie move here with the left-handed scoop.
We mentioned the struggles of Mourning, 2 of 9 from the floor. We're seeing perhaps that maybe John Thompson was right. Maybe his back is a problem.
Yeah, Ewing has been a perpetual terror on the D. Watch this harassment by Ewing. Mourning missing the stuff shot.
And then there's Kendall Gill. He hasn't done an awful lot in this series, but on this play you'll show why the Hornets wish he would do more.
Yeah, Gill 6'5", 205, a dynamic leaper there with the quantum leap and the hoop off the glass.
Well, the Knicks came out of the locker room charged up. They led 15-4, led by 11, but these pesky Hornets, and that's really the operative word here for a team that's named the Hornets, and it's operative because that's what they are. They don't go away.
Right, ghastly shooting by the Hornets, only 30%. Conversely, the Knicks only 40, but the Hornets now playing better D, and that has given them opportunities to score in transition.
And Clyde, we've seen in this series that the third quarter has been critical. Either the Knicks allow the Hornets to get back in it, or the Hornets take it over with the pressure that we've seen so consistently from them in the third quarter.
Yeah, normally midway to third period, because of their superior conditioning, the Knicks are able to ignite, especially on the defense with Rivers and Starks. Again, John Starks in a funk tonight as well. He's missed a lot of uncontested shots.
All these games in this series have been tight. This one looks like it could go down to the wire as well. Knicks by 3 at the half, getting set in for the second with Marvin John in a moment.
Since 1935, Wyman Ford has gone the distance for your satisfaction. We've made all the connections to get you into a new or used vehicle you can afford. A perfect price without the pressure, and award-winning service whether you buy or lease. Act now to receive the lowest APR financing available and the highest factory rebates. You win with Wyman Ford. Springfield Avenue, Maplewood. I remember my father's pride at owning the first Buick on the block. What a beauty. And the people at Amon Buick were so friendly. Buick sure look different today than they did in the 20s. You know, 4 generations later, Amon Buick is still the friendly neighborhood dealer I trust, with old-fashioned service and great prices. No one compares to Amon Buick. Make them a tradition in your family, too.
Amon Buick, St. George's Avenue in Rahway.
It's here, the new 93 Jeep Grand Cherokee, Grand Cherokee Limited, and Grand Cherokee Laredo at Frystock Jeep Eagle. For more than half a century, Jeep has been working hard, perfecting the art of four-wheel drive. And for 46 years, Frystock Jeep Eagle has been satisfying customers. Peace of mind comes standard at Frystock Jeep Eagle. Whether you've chosen Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Cherokee, or Eagle, find the savings and satisfaction at Frystock Jeep Eagle, 1305 St. George Avenue, Route 35, Woodbridge, New Jersey.
A car is a big investment, and these days you need to protect your investments. That's what Ryan Olds Medicar Service is all about. Hi, I'm Rick Domenichetti, Vice President of Ryan Olds in Metuchen. Yes, we're known as the home of the $9.99 oil change, but we're a lot more than that. Our factory-trained technicians will give you fast, reliable service on any GM car or light truck while you wait in the comfort of our new customer lounge. We even have Saturday service from 8 until 1. Like I said, there's a lot more to service at Ryan Olds than just our $9.99 oil change.
Marked by MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. For the New York Knicks and us, the playoff journey continues. These are the 1993 NBA playoffs. Game 5 of the Eastern semifinals between the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, it is a 3-point lead heading into the second half. Checking out the stat sheet, Marv Albert and John Andres.
Thank you, Al. And that is the halftime score. The Knicks with a 3-point lead after leading by as many as 11. I'll look at the shooting percentages in the first half. The Knicks 17 for 42, just under 41%, while Charlotte at 15 of 45 from the field, 33% shooting. In the rebounding department, Knicks with the 27-23 advantage. Mourning had 7, and Ewing had 6 in the first half. In the assist column, Knicks chalking up 11. Charlotte with 6, and Muggsy Bogues, in a surprise, did not have an assist in that first half.
That's remarkable. Look at the starting forward scoring. Larry Johnson, 7 minutes of play, not a basket. Johnny Newman didn't score, only played 3 minutes, and Oakley and Smith 9 points each for the Knicks. And the Toyota matchup featuring a couple of big forwards on respective teams. Charles Oakley, Larry Johnson. Kind of unfair. Larry only played 7 minutes, only took a shot, had that 3 fouls early, and Alan Bristow sat him the rest of the way, and what a good move it was. His team is right on the case of the Knicks. Excellent first half for Charles Oakley.
John, are you saying the Toyota matchup is unfair?
Very unfair.
You're saying our crew is being unfair.
We picked on Kroll. We picked on Larry Johnson.
Yes.
And I think he'll do some picking on the Knicks right now, too. Hey, Marv, how about the first half? Not one player on either team in double figures. What a crazy statistic sheet we're looking at right here in that regard.
Well, a first half that saw the Hornets at one point back in the first quarter go 6 minutes 2 seconds without a field goal. Knicks had a 10-0 run. They led by as many as 11. Here's Johnson trying to get back into it. Charles Smith. Oh, nice ball, because he was uncertain. He had a notion to give it up to Oakley.
What a confusing guy Charles Smith is. He hits jump shots. He hits a very difficult shot, and yet he misses layups so readily.
Line drive hook thrown by Mourning, and that was actually thrown. That wasn't a shot. Knicks lead by 5. Charles Smith now in double figures. He has 11. Smith posting up on a Wingate. And a foul is called. So David Wingate, who got caught in the mismatch, picks up his first, and apparently Johnny Newman is hurting because Wingate is starting the second half. Newman came in as a question mark with a sprained left knee, played the first 3 minutes, and that's been it.
It was a nice move by Charles, but all of a sudden the opening was so big and he wasn't prepared for it.
Muggsy Bogues with 9 points. The Knicks lead 47-44 It is Game 5 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Knicks hoping to wrap it with Chicago waiting in the wings. Charlotte looking to take it back to a Game 6 at the Hive on Thursday. Crowd wanted to travel. So it's Wingate, Johnson, and Mourning up front. Gill and Bogues in the backcourt. And Gill was turned back. Here comes Starks.
Strong inside presence by Charles Smith on that play.
And Starks fouled by Wingate. Second committed by Wingate. Starks will go to the line. There's Johnny Newman, the one-time New York Knick, sitting it out, played the first 3 minutes. Sprained left knee kept him out of practice the last couple of games, but Johnny said he'd give it a shot, and he must be in pain because he has not played since the early moments.
Well, John Starks has gone through a couple of game personalities here, in that he's been a playmaker as well as a shooting guard. He hasn't been himself as a shooter, and because of the role of the point guard that he's enjoyed or had to take over, it has affected his shooting, which has been off in this series. But Pat Riley's viewpoint is he's done more for the team in his complete style of play than just being an offensive player.
Hopefully going for the steal, and he collects his third foul. Pat Riley on the subject of John Starks. Times has gone from a shooter's mentality to ball distribution. That was the case, as you mentioned, on Sunday, and he went 3 for 9 from the field. Bogues, and Ewing soars and then fires down for Smith. Foul called on Gill. Charles Smith did a nice job. That pass was overthrown.
Patrick Ewing with the long peg from center field, Marv. That was deep center field. And Charles Smith powering his way to the basket. He did make a nice recovery.
Smith is 3 out of 5 from the foul line.
Well, game 1 through 4, you show the two sides of Charles Smith. The first 3 was the downside, and game 4 the other day was a very upside for Charles, who also had a big day at the foul line shooting the ball so well. He and Doc Rivers. Knicks were 22 of 24 from the line on Sunday. That was a very fine addition to their offense. That isn't always the case.
The Knicks by 7. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Here's Johnson. So Larry Johnson is 0 for 3. He's trying to shoot his way back into it.
He's out a little too far, though, to get his field back. He's got to work in closer.
Ewing with a show the ball move. Smith. And Johnson finds Bogues. Back for Johnson. Rivers for Ewing. And Patrick Ewing trying to return it down low.
Kendall Gill read that pass by Ewing.
Gill with the rebound, blocked by Ewing. And a loose ball foul called on the Hornets. Called on Gill. That is his second.
Charlotte Hornets. Gill getting that ball sent home, sent away by Patrick Ewing. Kendall Gill has far more rebounds than he does assists, even though he's a guard. He's a tough man on the boards.
The Knicks by 7. And Rivers calls for a timeout. He was about to be tied up by Bogues. Good play by Doc Rivers. It's a 20-second timeout. Well, we checked with the Charlotte bench. Johnny Newman, we're told the knee is still sore, but he is available. He could make his return. And remember, we saw Kenny Gaddison at the end of the first half head back to the Charlotte locker room after hurting his lower back. And the word on Ken is that he has tightness in his lower back, but he is available for action.
Well, he was important in the first half, keeping the Charlotte Hornets close. 6 points, 5 rebounds.
And still flexing. Well, John McEnroe, a regular here at Madison Square Garden, along with Woody Allen, has changed his seat location in a curious development. John, would you check that out for us?
Great seats in that front row. And he's been showing up on a regular basis like the old days.
Smith. Knicks lead by 7, 8.5 remaining in the third quarter. Here's Gill. Knicks 51 and the Hornets 46. To this point, it's a game that has not distinguished itself. There's nothing of significance that has developed, John. We have no personality in this ball game. It appeared, though, when the Knicks got off to that 15-4 run, sparked by Doc Rivers, that would be the story of the game. The Doc is taking charge, coming out aggressive. Here's Smith, and he's blocked. Rebounded by Mourning. What a play by Alonzo Mourning. And here comes Wingate for Johnson. And Johnson comes up short. Wingate on the putback. Crowd wanted an offensive interference. And Kendall Gill brings the Hornets within 3.
Well, 2 reasons for the disappointment, Mar. First of all, the stars of the respective teams haven't gotten into it at all. I mean, this is most unusual. Ewing and Larry Johnson have not had a presence. The Knicks better start thinking about boxing out. The Hornets are really hurting them on the boards.
And Wingate able to box out for that rebound. Mourning with the fake. Mourning. Smith rebound. Alonzo Mourning also has not been able to get anything going. He is now 2 for 11. Crowd urging the Knicks on. Starks on the penetration. Sets up Ewing. For Patrick Ewing, that is only his second field goal. He has 4 points. Knicks lead by 5. Look at that third quarter shooting. Foul called. Knee foul on Ewing. And a timeout taken by the Hornets with 6:49 remaining in the third.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Why did Hertz invent #1 Club Gold service? To beat the rush hour. See, every plane and everybody seems to land at once. But with Gold service, there's no stopping at the counters and no paperwork. Instead, you go nonstop to your waiting car with your name in lights. Only Hertz has #1 Club Gold. The best reason yet why Hertz beats the rush hour. To Hertz, the rest of the day is a piece of cake.
We drove an engine 200,000 grueling miles using Mobil 1. Then we ripped it apart. What did we find? Nothing. Nothing. Virtually no engine wear. What kept these vital engine parts like new? This part. Advanced Formula Mobil 1. It keeps your engine running like new.
The Bud Dunk of the Game is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud.
And the Bud Dunk of the game took place in the first quarter. John Starks, a little delayed pick and roll, and a hook slam dunk by Patrick Ewing for the Bud Dunk of the game.
And Tom Brokaw taking leave from his busy duties at NBC to check things out. John Lovitz.
He's shooting somebody.
Is that an illegal camera?
Well, nice to see the West Coast visit the Garden here with John's appearance.
Knicks by 5. 6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Third quarter. And Mourning able to swing away from Ewing. That is only his third field goal. He's 3 out of 12, 10 points, but also 9 rebounds and 4 blocked shots.
There's a bad sign there. Ewing has 3 fouls. He didn't even make an attempt to pursue Alonzo.
Nice setup starts for Oakley. Knicks lead it 55-50.
You know Patrick doesn't want the fourth because that means the bench. So he better make a decision now. He backs away again inside. So Patrick is going to find it very difficult, and the Knicks will, unless he goes back to a defensive presence.
Larry Johnson with his first field goal. The Knicks lead is 3. They led by as many as 11 and was back in the first quarter. Ewing. Patrick Ewing 2 for 9 from the field. Johnson. Larry Johnson not taking good shots in an effort to get into it.
Oh, he has the ability to get inside the foul line, and he's settling for long ones.
Anthony Mason is getting set to come back in. Here's Starks. Yes. The Knicks lead 57-52.
Well, that's what the Knicks need. They need a star to rise here in these clouds, Marv.
Oh, very poetic. Mourning. Offensive foul. Basket will not count. And that is 3 on Alonzo Mourning.
Big drive here by Alonzo. The problem with him is he has too many skills. Among them is his ability to dribble and get around people. It's a heck of a move by a 6'10" man, but the problem is the little people get in your way, and it's very difficult for the 6'10" guy to stop rolling.
And Muggsy Bogues making it difficult for Doc Rivers, slowing him down as he moved across the midcourt line. And the Knicks are down to 8 on the 24. Starks puts between the legs. Starks on the drive, rebounded by Mourning. Here comes Bogues, Gill with him, and it's Kendall Gill finishing the break. Knicks 57, the Hornets 54, and Bogues right back on Rivers, but this time he had help.
That's the Hornets at their best.
Mason. Oh, what a move by Mason, who thought he was fouled. Knicks lead by 5. Good hustle by Mason to get back down into it on the transition. Mason being matched outside with Gill off that errant pass. Smith came up with the intercept. Knicks back to the offense. Gill gets it right back. And Rivers takes the dribble away. Mason, yes. The Knicks 61. The Hornets 54.
Boy, one thing Mourning doesn't do, and that is go out and pursue jump shooters.
Oh, look out. Late reaction by the Knicks put Bogues on the floor. And Bogues a little upset with Oakley. A gentle push now, Muggsy with a smile. Foul was called on Rivers. A timeout is called. 3:43 left in the third.
Johnson, Mourning, Ewing. Game 6 between the Knicks and the Hornets from Charlotte. After game night, Thursday.
One of nature's perfect designs is the secret of its performance. The new Copeland Compliance Scroll air conditioning compressor. Its spiral compression cycle is quiet, constant, and energy efficient. Which is why the Rheem Classic Series delivers quiet, constant, and energy efficient cooling. Advanced technology by Rheem and Copeland. The perfect design for cooling your space.
Call Real Strong Heating and... This is Paul Sansone, and at the prices he sells cars, he must have a hole in his head.
Hole in the head, schmole in the head. What counts is that these specials won't put a hole in your wallet. If these don't fit your needs, we've got more. Now, that's a great price. And the price is not the only good news. Right now, we've got one of the largest inventories of the most wanted colors and styles. But at these prices, they're going to be going fast. So come to Sansone and take advantage of these hole-in-the-head specials. Miss them, and there may be 2 of us with holes in our heads.
I need someone to guide me through an exercise program. That's why I hated those flashy gyms. No one cared. At the Cross Training Fitness Studio in Springfield, I get the attention I need. They got to know me, my health, then help me set sensible goals. My husband Joe works with his own personal trainer. Me, I use their semi-private classes. They're affordable, and they fit my lifestyle.
Cross Training Fitness Studio, a personal approach, 530 Morris Ave, Springfield.
Remember, when you're having good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Now from our upper deck trading card cam, you'll see some of the confusion Muggsy Bogues was in the middle of. He got clobbered on that field goal attempt. He brought down Charles Oakley and official Joe Forte as well. Muggsy was not going to go by himself, and Muggsy gave Charles Oakley a little physical play, which Charles, I don't think, felt.
Crowd is back into it now after that Nick flurry. Knicks lead by 7. Here's Johnson, rejected by Smith. Gill, Kendall Gill, right back. He has 17. Gill is the high man for Charlotte. That's shooting for the game. Hornets only 33%. The Knicks up at 40. The Knicks with a 5-point lead. 3:20 to go in the third. Game 5 of the best of 7. Knicks hoping to wind up the series. Here's Rivers for 3. Yes. Doc Rivers from downtown. Knicks by 8. Mourning. Try to get inside, but he's tied up. Oh, what a play.
And look who was there. Rivers is inspiring his team now. Mourning dribbling unnecessarily. Rivers so aggressive right in there, wrestling that ball away.
Hornets controlling the tip. Mourning being played by Oakley. Here's Gill. Kendall Gill has caught fire. 19 for Gill. He's 8 out of 15 for the field. Oakley giving the Knicks a 66-58 lead.
Knicks exploiting the weak transition defense of Charlotte on that play.
And Gill goes to a scoop. Johnson trying to save. Starks on it for Mason. Knicks have pulled away to a 10-point lead. And they're doing it with Patrick Ewing on the bench.
Boy, if ever there was a timeout to be called, you would think it would be now by Charlotte. They do have 4.
Chen on defense. Wingate got the step, and he drew the foul. Mason called for his first. Here's Del Curry returning. And Kendall Gill, who had the hot hand, will sit down. Lees with 19. David Wingate to the foul line. He is 2 of 2 from the line.
Well, David Wingate, you always hear about Mourning and Mutombo and Ewing these days, as Georgetown has such prominence in the NBA, but he left Georgetown as the school's 3rd all-time leading scorer. 1,781 points. Great career there. Take a look at the Georgetown all-time scorers. You see Sleepy Floyd on top. Ewing, Reggie Williams, Alonzo, David Wingate, all in the NBA and doing well.
And Wingate, a 74% free throw shooter, missed on both. This has been a major story, particularly here in the third quarter. The Knicks outdoing the Hornets in the fast break point department. Foul is called on Charlotte. It's on Tony Bennett. This unit has done a nice job for Pat Riley. Mason, Smith, Oakley up front. Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. Mason, 3 out of 4 from the foul line.
Yes, a nice sustained effort since the opening moments. This has been the best that the Knicks have played. And it is surprising, as you say, Marv, that it's happening with fast break points, because that's the great aspect, quality of the Charlotte team, their fast breaking ability. Not to be described, the Knicks would never be thought of as a fast breaking team, but they are doing it now, and it's the difference.
Knicks have matched their biggest lead of the night. They lead by 11. Johnson. So Larry Johnson with only a second field goal. He is 2 out of 8 from the field. Knicks lead 69-60. Here's some pressure by Curry. Winding down third quarter, a minute 15 remaining. Smith sets the screen. Shot clock at 7. Rivers. Yes. Doc Rivers hit a 3 just moments ago. Field goal right here is coming with several steals. His aggressive play has set the tone. Knicks lead by 11. Mourning is fouled by Oakley. Or perhaps the ball deflected away. No foul. Ball knocked out of bounds by Oakley. And the Hornets maintain possession. They'll have 13 on the shot clock.
John Starks' aggressive hands broke that thing up.
Bennett, made by Rivers. Rivers with the steal, and then he's fouled. Well, the foul cut off the possibility of the fast break, but again, it's Doc Rivers creating havoc out there.
You know, Marv, if a coach was going to stop and run out the court and hug somebody, I think Pat Riley would be hugging this man, Doc Rivers. He has inspired the Knicks. He has led them. He has provided veteran leadership.
4th steal of the game for Doc Rivers.
I asked Mike Saunders, the Knicks trainer, before the game if Doc had undergone any acupuncture as he did before game 1, which Doc spoke so highly of, and Mike shook it off. Not necessary. Back is fine.
And there is Knicks trainer Mike Saunders. Knicks with their biggest lead, a margin of 12. Johnson with a rare post-up move and cannot get the shot off. Played well by Smith. They'll try again. Curry for 3. Del Curry hammers the 3 down. Larry Johnson having difficulty finding shots.
Smith was wise not to go for any of those fakes.
15 seconds left in the quarter. Knicks with a 9-point lead. Smith led by Starks. Yes, and it counts. Oh, Oakley in the face of Wingate.
A play the Knicks often use. The big man comes around as if he's going to receive the ball, slows up, and then accelerates. Ewing does it so well with Starks. Charles Smith knows how to do it too, and oh, how nicely Charles found the rim. In a year of frustration around the basket, Charles finished that one perfectly.
Fouled by Wingate. Smith 5 out of 7 from the line, and this has developed into a solid game for Charles Smith, who comes off a good one on Sunday. Charles now has 16, 9 seconds remaining. Third quarter. Knicks lead by 12. Johnson off the dribble. Nice move, and that is fouled by Oakley. Oakley came over to help out after Johnson beat Smith off the dribble. That's 4 on Oakley. Down to 2 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the third. Larry Johnson to the line for the first time. He is a 77% free throw shooter. And Larry getting the treatment from the crowd.
Larry and the Hornets have suffered as Kenny Gaddison comes back in the game. Mourning goes out. I think Mourning's fatigued, Marv. He has not looked as strong as he did in the earlier games tonight. He's laboring so hard. It's been a long year for the rookie Mourning, who has had a major impact.
All right, final seconds of the quarter. A dangerous pass because with no contact made, the ball goes back to the front court, and it will be Charlotte possession in their front court. Hornets take a 20-second timeout. They will throw in front court with plenty of time to get a good shot off. Down to 2 and 7/10 seconds remaining in this third quarter, and the Knicks with a 10-point lead. High point man of the game, Kendall Gill, leading Charlotte with 19, Charles Smith leads the Knicks with 16. Well, this copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA. That thought just popped in my mind, John. I wanted to pass that on.
An abbreviated version.
Yes.
Very nice that you, after all these years, could just spout that out.
Just protecting the rights of the MSG network at all times. All right, the Hornets will inbound. Kendall Gill will throw it in. 2 7/10 seconds remaining. Third quarter. Pat Riley calling over the official, Ed Rush, checking on the time remaining in the quarter. And that is correct because no one touched the ball on that fling down court by Oakley. Now the officials are checking it out. Joe Forte moving over to the scorer's table. And I am assuming that they are double checking on the time left in the quarter.
Unless Pat is petitioning for more time on the clock, but the shot clock, the time clock, everything's the same.
The officials are still talking about it. And Kendall Gill will inbound. It looks like all has been settled. Gill can't find anyone, gets it into Curry. And that is the end of the third quarter. The Knicks 75 and the Hornets 65 as we head to the fourth.
Check out this score. 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America are at your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer. And a pitch. Now get Grand Slam savings on every car and truck in stock. Right now, get over $1,900 in out-of-the-park savings on the award-winning Ford Explorer, America's favorite sports utility vehicle. Save over $1,900. And the catch? It's only for a limited time. The Grand Slam sales event now at your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer.
Catch the rhythm, move your feet to the grown-up playground, right down the street. Nobody beats the Wiz, ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. Gotta be the most fun place there is in the home entertainment biz. Nobody beats the Wiz, ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. See the newest, hear the latest. When you want no prices, we're the greatest. Nobody beats the Wiz. Ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. It's just not fair, but that's the way it is. Ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. Ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. Ain't nobody gonna beat the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA and the New York Knicks.
Back at the Garden where the predominant colors are teal and purple, but that doesn't mean this is the home of the Charlotte Hornets, but this is the owner of them, Mr. George Shinn. Mr. Shinn, can you describe for me and the people here what your team has done to the city of Charlotte, and especially what they've done in showing in these playoffs that they can beat the Celtics and give the Knicks a darn hard time?
Well, I just think it shows what can happen in the future. We've got a great young club that are highly motivated, and I think, you know, with some of the things we plan to do during the summer and this coming year, that we're going to be one of the teams of the future. We're really excited about our club.
What does it mean to the city of Charlotte to have this team do what they're doing?
Oh, I think it's incredible. The fact we've been on national television and the colors and everything has been so popular. It's just been tremendous for the city of Charlotte and really for the whole state of North and South Carolina, for that matter.
Thank you, Mr. Shin. Marv, back to you.
All right, Al, Patrick Ewing extending the Knick lead, 77-65 the score. George Shin, the owner of this very successful Charlotte Hornet franchise. Alonzo Mourning. Mourning has 12. Ewing with only 6 points. The Knicks lead by 10. What could be the final quarter of the season for the Charlotte Hornets. But what a run it has been for the Hornets. They would like to take this series to a 6th game back to Charlotte on Thursday night. The Knicks would love the opportunity to rest up for the next round. Ewing way off. Shot clock was running down, so he had to fire it up. Knicks trying to win it in 5. Again, the hook by Mourning. And Smith able to rescue. Greg Anthony is back. We saw Doc Rivers head to the Knick locker room. We'll have a report for you just a moment. Ewing able to hit, and he's fouled. Patrick Ewing getting inside and took advantage of the mismatch. Fouled by Del Curry.
Well, Ewing getting a beautiful pass from Anthony Mason. Curry couldn't handle Ewing. That was a real big man advantage. Another look at it. Mason with the firing that ball into Patrick. Can't get over how Mr. Shin reminded me of a recent presidential candidate, Marv, Ross Perot.
And Patrick Ewing completing the 3-point play. He has 9. You talking about George Shin's political views, or
no, how he sounds, actually?
Oh, I see.
Maybe if Al goes back, he'll get some political views, and then we'll really be confused.
Knicks lead by 13. It's their biggest lead of the night. Foul called on Starks. Well, apparently Doc Rivers okay. He's back on the Knick bench. Addison sitting down. Curry, Gill, and Bogues in a 3-guard alignment. Ewing went down. Mourning was fouled. Ewing slipped. Smith picked up the foul, his 3rd. Another solid performance by Charles Smith. He had been struggling during the playoffs. Remember the 2 for 12 in Game 4 against Indiana last Thursday. Did not do much here against Charlotte until Sunday, when he hit 6 of 10, 19 points in 35 minutes, and he has had a good one here tonight.
Well, this franchise has been hungering for a big man, and they got it in the rookie Alonzo Mourning, who misses his first. He became the Hornets' all-time leading shot blocker in the 49th game of this season and finished 4th in the NBA in that department.
Yes, Alonzo Mourning at Georgetown, a tremendous force in the lane, has the good hand, strong rebounder, and as we have seen here in his rookie year, can also shoot the ball. Mourning with 13 has not shot well here tonight. He and Ewing have played to a standstill, and neither one has starred to this point. Knicks with a 12-point lead. 2 minutes gone by in the 4th. Shot clock at 5. Mason got the step. Oh, a facial served up by Anthony Mason, who has been a major contributor. 14 points for Mason, and the Knicks lead by 14.
The last time they were matched up, Mourning watched Mason hit the jumper. This time he went for the fake, and Mason executed perfection.
Here's Bogues. Gill gets it on the hop, and he's hit on a reach-in. Foul committed by Starks. That's his 3rd. Timeout has been called with 9:37 left in the game.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud.
It's the backyard, the front porch, Amanda, Lulu, Aunt Gloria, Big D, and the kids' table. Now it's the area code most of your calls go back to. Call AT&T now and you could pay less for them. Spend $40 a month and we'll take 25% off your favorite area code, plus 15% off your other calls, guaranteed, with no fee. Call 1-800-426-4752. Real savings made simple. Just another part of the iPlan.
It offers features like anti-lock brakes, traction control, touring suspension, and dual airbags. But if all that doesn't move you, perhaps its 214 horsepower engine will. The award-winning Eagle Vision TSI. Buy or lease one at your dealer today.
See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
The Gatorade Knicks Summer Camp during July and August is a fun-filled week-long experience for kids ages 8 through 17. Guest lecturers include John Starks, Rolando Blackman, Doc Rivers. Call 212-465-4100 now to learn more about the Gatorade Knicks Summer Camp and to reserve your spot with the Knicks.
And Pat Riley's New York Knicks up by 14, representing their biggest lead of the game. 9.5 remaining. Fourth quarter. Illegal defense called for the first time. First illegal defense called on the Knicks. A look at the Ewing Mourning matchup. Neither have shot well. Ewing 8 rebounds. Mourning with 10. But the Knicks are pleased they have the big lead. Here's Johnson getting inside, and he's fouled. Let's see, Ewing came over to help, and he did pick it up. That's his fourth.
Larry Johnson has something going with one of the fans under the basket. He keeps responding whenever he's down there and something happens to someone who's talking to him. Larry always pays attention to everything going on. He gets rocked pretty good on that play. Never comes up angry, though. You can suck and bang him around, but he doesn't come up with his nostrils flaring fire. He just takes it well. Real solid professional attitude always exhibited by Larry Johnson.
Johnson, a 77% free throw shooter. 3 for 3 tonight from the line. Larry a little late getting into it. Picked up a third foul, only 7 minutes in, along with a technical foul. Knicks lead by 12.
Well, as the pattern has evolved over time, Anthony Mason becomes the man bringing the ball up court in the latter stages of a game.
Starks called for a travel. John Starks tried to beat Muggsy Bogues off the dribble and was detected for the traveling violation. Bogues with the open shot. So Muggsy now 5 of 13. He has 11 points in all, and the Hornets have cut it to a 10-point lead. Timeout called by the Knicks. 8:35 remaining in the fourth. Knicks by 10.
There's nothing like a classic movie to remind us what it's like to flirt shamelessly, love passionately, lose your heart, walk on air, or jump for joy. American movie classics. We bring back the feeling.
I need someone to guide me through an exercise program. That's why I hated those flashy gyms. No one cared. At the Cross Training Fitness Studio in Springfield, I get the attention I need. They got to know me, my health, then help me set sensible goals. My husband Joe works with his own personal trainer. Me, I use their semi-private classes. They're affordable, and they fit my lifestyle.
Cross Training Fitness Studio, a personal approach, 530 Morris Ave, Springfield.
Well, a little nightly news meeting, Tom. researching for tomorrow night's show with his two new closest friends, Kid and Play.
Big hoop fans. Kid and Play know what's going on. Hey! Kid has a sense of the camera at all times. Well, now move along to our Midas bench breakdown. Thanks to Anthony Mason, the Knicks are getting an advantage in that department tonight. Mason with a terrific game thus far. Del Curry came to life. 9 of the Hornets' 21 points on solid shooting. Pat Riley has said lately it's always been somebody stepping up each game. Tonight, the Knicks have pulled out ahead with a real team effort. It hasn't been one person in particular, although I have to think of Doc Rivers' dramatic play as the Knicks opened up a lead, but it's been solid all around.
John Starks, yes. Muggsy Bogues complaining that Starks pushed off to set for the shot. Starks has 12. The Knicks lead 84-72. Curry, well, wide open shot for Del Curry. 12 for Curry.
You know what's so unusual about that shot, Marv, is it's flat-footed. He is not jumping in the air on a lot of those shots that one would describe as jump shots. Well, they're flat-footed, one-handed shots. We have to come up with a new name.
How about a flat-footed one-handed shot?
It's too much.
Curry with the rebound. Kendall Gill. And Mason gets it off the boards, but a loose ball foul has been called. It's on Ewing. That is number 5 with lots of time remaining. 7:43 to go. In this fourth quarter, Pat Riley takes a walk and then motions for Charles Oakley. Riley pacing in front of the Knick bench and then makes the move.
Well, Patrick Ewing can't avoid the contact on this play under the basket, and that'll send him to the bench. However, the Knicks do have a fairly sizable lead right now, so it should not be panic time for anyone. You know, flat-footed one-handed shot just isn't cool enough, Marv.
You're bothered by
it. Yeah, it's not cool. I'll work this one out.
Alonzo Mourning, 5 for 9 from the line. You see the overall shooting in games 4 and 5. He has been off. Knicks lead by 9. Knicks are over the foul limit, while the Hornets have only 1 team foul. That could hurt. 7:35 remaining in the game. So it's Oakley now up front with Smith and Mason. Anthony and Starks at the guards. Smith gives it back for Anthony. Hit a couple of jumpers earlier. Rebound Mason. He's turned back. Mourning got a piece of it. And here's Curry. Well, the Hornets very much in this. Down by 7. They have cut that 14-point lead in half.
It was Mason taking the ball up, then Starks. Now Anthony. Now Pat Riley's going to bring Doc Rivers back into the picture. Starks loses his offensive effectiveness if he spends too much time dribbling.
Anthony passed up on that jumper. Anthony got a piece of it, and a foul is called. It's on Anthony. And Doc Rivers will check in, replacing Greg Anthony. Doc Rivers provided a lift earlier this fourth quarter, as he did at the start of the game. Kendall Gill to the line. It is hurting the Knicks now that they went over the foul limit so early. So Gill back to the line. He's 3 out of 4. And the Knick lead is down to 6. Charlotte Hornets went 44 and 38 on the regular season, earning 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Won their last 5, 9 of the last 12. This their best ever record, and this their 5th year of existence. In the first round of the playoffs, knocked off Boston. They played the Knicks well, although they are down 3 games to 1 and trying to hold on and put this to a 6th game in Charlotte on Thursday. Foul called as Muggsy Bogues was all over John Starks.
Starks is working very hard, as you have to do with this little guy on you. You would think that Del Curry guarding Doc Rivers would result in Rivers bringing the ball up. Curry doesn't have that kind of defensive presence.
Rolando Blackman is getting set to come back in. 6.5 remaining. Fourth quarter. Oakley. Yes. Unusual shot again for Charles. He was set up. He stepped back and took the jumper. Knicks 86. The Hornets 79. Oakley has 15. Mourning working against Oakley. And a foul is called. It's on Mourning. Flashing the elbow to collect his fourth. Offensive foul on Mourning. And now Charles Smith will sit down. Here comes Rolando Blackman. Mason looking for help. Good pressure here by the Hornets. Rivers avoiding Curry. Crowd wanted a foul on Curry.
Starks making a run at setting up down low with Muggsy Bogues, but then he comes out of that low post position real fast.
Rivers for three. Yes! Again, Doc Rivers with a clutch shot. The shot clock was running down. And Doc Rivers hits his second from downtown. Foul call as Mourning was hit, and he'll go to the line. And Mourning and Rivers exchange words. Oakley gets into it. And the officials very quick to step between. So Mourning will go to the line. He is 6 of 10 from the line. The Knicks 89, the Hornets 80.
One of the other things that Mourning did in his distinguished career at Georgetown is shoot more foul shots and made more than any other player in the school's history. His mobility got him to that status.
I wonder if Alonzo and Patrick had dinner last night. They have been exchanging all kinds of trash talk, in particular over dinner with their one-time collegiate coach John Thompson. Charles Oakley apparently advised Patrick Ewing that it's wait till after the series. It's wrong to get involved with friendly dinners at this stage.
Sidney Green had a lot to say about that.
Blackman had it knocked away. Here's Bogues for Gill. A 2-on-1. Nice setup. And the Hornets come within 6. We come up on 5 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter.
When does Pat Riley reach in for Patrick Ewing is the question now the fans must be thinking about.
Leg lock call on Curry. The shot clock was down to 7. That's a break for the Knicks. Now they get a new 24. The electronic wizard Howard Singer asked Alan Bristow about the morning Ewing dinner, and Alan said it doesn't matter to him as long as Alonzo eats well.
How protective.
Blackman and Mason rebound. So the Knicks able to regroup. They get the new 24.
Now if Blackman gets another shot, having felt the ball, he'll make it.
Rivers on a crossover rejected by Mourning. Bogues leads the break. Curry for 3. And Oakley on the rebound. Alonzo Mourning with his 5th blocked shot. Starks passed on the 3 and hit on a reach-in. Curry for the foul. Oh, Mourning shoving Oakley. And a technical foul has been called. And it's on Curry. Apparently nothing called involving Mourning and Oakley, but Curry complained about that last reach-in foul.
Charles Oakley wears that devilish look on his face like, I got you to lose your cool, in the direction of Mourning.
Oakley and Mourning are still chatting. Anthony Mason, of all people, yes, ushers
peacemaker
Charles aside. Well, John Starks hits the technical. The officials very compassionate in not calling anything on Mourning. Oakley. Could have been a double technical under other conditions. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the game. Starks. The tip by Oakley. Oh, Charles is all pumped up. Charles Oakley has had an enormous game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, and a foul is called on Blackman. The Knicks now lead 92-83. We're just under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Charles Oakley getting that inside position as Mourning extends himself. Can't get back to the position he needed, but Oakley certainly did. Charles has had an excellent playoff series. He was a little quiet on Sunday in that he only played a half of the game, but the prior game showed Charles adding up some very hefty numbers in points and rebounding for the Knicks.
Here comes Patrick Ewing, replacing Rolando Blackman. So Ewing will play with 5 fouls. Bill Curry, a superb free throw shooter, 87% during the regular season. The Knicks 92, the Hornets 85.
It would appear the Knicks have this thing wrapped up, but not when you know the Hornets and how they can play and turn a minute into a lot of points.
Rivers with another three-point attempt, and it will be Charlotte ball. Yes, the Knicks have seen how the Hornets have been able to come back against them on a number of occasions. Right now, the Hornets are playing for their season. A Knick win, and they advance to face the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference Final. Hornets try to stay alive to bring it to a Game 6 on Thursday. Here's Mourning, and a foul is called. Ewing called for number 6. So Patrick Ewing has fouled out, and yes, the Hornets are very much alive. Ewing was hoping the call might have gone on Oakley.
Boy, Mourning is really working him tough on that play. Mourning charging into the basket, into Ewing. Foul called. And Patrick tried to play it as conservatively as he could on this play. But if there's any motion at all as the offensive man comes into you, if there's motion by the defense, it's the foul on the defense.
An ineffective performance for Patrick Ewing. His lowest scoring game of the season. 4 of 12, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Alonzo Mourning takes his time at the foul line, always. It is a 6-point Knick lead. Mourning is playing with 4 fouls. Mourning will be guarded primarily by Oakley. At times you'll see Smith. Alonzo with 16 points. He has not had a good one. The Knick lead is now 5. So without Ewing on the floor, having fouled out, it will be a dramatic finish. The Knicks 92, the Hornets 87. We come up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Interesting how Starks doesn't post up 5 for 3 in Muggsy.
Starks with the jumper. And the rebound by Oakley.
Could he have done that more beautifully?
Charles Oakley has been the star for the Knicks. Mourning is fouled.
Oakley explodes in disagreement, and Doc Rivers explodes on Oakley to calm him down.
Foul was called on Anthony Mason. Once again, the Hornets to the line when we come back following the timeout.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
days are held over. That's right. The incredible opportunity to save on the Jeep vehicle you've been waiting for has been extended, and there is still an unbelievable selection. Choose from hundreds of award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokees and get up to $1,100 in savings. Enjoy cash back on classic Cherokee Sport, or get legendary Wrangler as low as this. So hurry in for Jeep Days at your Jeep and Eagle dealer today, because days like these won't be held over for long. Now, financing available with no payment until September.
Hi from Snapple. Today I got a letter from a young guy who writes, I love your all-natural beverages. Do you allow people to tour your plant? Okay.
Welcome to Snapple World Headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Stephen. Did you see our artwork? Very nice. What are you drinking? Pink lemonade. It's a marvelous drink. Cherry lime Ricky. Tea. You taste that peach? Ooh. And this is the men's room. Now you're a Snapple man. Look at that.
Snapple's made from the best stuff on earth.
2 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Knicks 94, Hornets 87. Patrick Ewing has fouled out. Timeouts left. Hornets with 3. And the Knicks with 3.
Well, Charles Oakley has worked so well around the basket as usual, but offensively tonight, he's really been important. He is so comfortable going to the left hand, and he is very effective, as he's been a couple of times tonight. Long lead pass to Mourning for a dunk. He's fouled on that play. Oakley goes crazy. Rivers responds accordingly. Saved a technical foul.
Oakley has 4 fouls, 19 points for Charles Oakley, along with 11 rebounds. Here is Alonzo Mourning, 10 of 14 from the foul line. During the season, 78% from the line. A 6-point lead for the Knicks.
Alonzo's hoping his next meeting with Patrick Ewing is Thursday and not in the Georgetown schoolyard in July.
The Knicks 94, Hornets 89. Pressure by Charlotte. Starks protecting against Gill.
Gave Rivers some time off in the harassment of Muggsy.
Mason. And a foul is called. He was hit from behind as Mason looked to post up on Curry. Curry picks up number 5, and the Hornets with their 4th team foul. The Knicks have been over the limit for most of this fourth quarter. Down to 2:25 remaining in the fourth. Now Rivers posting. Mason a bit too deep. Smith. Yes. Charles Smith showing no hesitation and hitting an important shot for a 7-point Knick lead. Mourning. Oh, what a shot by Alonzo Mourning to cut it back to 5 with 2 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. The Hornets try to preserve the season. Knicks hoping to wrap it in 5. And that is a travel called on Rivers. The ball goes back to Charlotte.
He just couldn't handle the pass from Starks.
Bogues sets it up once, a pick. Mourning comes out, Bogues goes the other way. Minute 40 left in the fourth. 8 on the shot clock. Bogues has the open shot. The Knicks 96, the Hornets 93. Minute and a half remaining. Rivers backing Bogues. And then faces a double team. The Knicks by 3. They're doing it without Patrick Ewing. Starks for 3. Yes! Oh, what a shot by John Starks, extending to a 6-point lead. Now desperation time on this possession by Charlotte. 6-point lead. Here's Curry penetrating. It counts on the foul. Del Curry will go to the line. What an exchange.
What a conclusion to a lackluster offensive game by both teams. Tremendous playing here. Del Curry, right-handed shooter, going left off the backboard. That's going in. And the foul. Starks, shot clock ticking away, goes to the deep 3. Oh, what a shot.
Foul is committed by Smith. Curry is an excellent free throw shooter. Completes the 3-point play. 3-point Knick lead. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. 1 minute remaining in regulation. Here's the double on Rivers. Finds Oakley. Yes, and it counts. And Oakley will go to the line. Oh, Oakley screaming in the face of Larry Johnson.
Uncalled for.
The foul on Johnson. And Oakley receiving a standing ovation. Oakley a 72% free throw shooter. He has 21 points. The Knicks by 5. 55 seconds remaining, and a timeout called by Charlotte. To be precise, 54 and 1/10 second to go. The Knicks holding on to a 5-point edge.
What's exciting about the business, even though we've been in it now 30 years, we're still learning every day. We've made every mistake twice at least. We're always experimenting with new shapes and new forms, but I think that's part of the learning curve. I think that's part of the lesson of life, and certainly the lesson of retail. And I think that just the very fact that people can use their American Express card ends up creating an additional sale for the store.
American Express is welcomed at Crate and Barrel, and plenty of places they pack them in.
Some people will stop at nothing. Here we go again. Who'd the Knicks trade for Dave DeBuscher?
Walt Bellamy and Howie Colmize.
What's Sam Huff's real first name?
Robert.
Most career shutouts, Rangers.
Eddie Jockman.
How many times did Mickey Mantle homer under a full moon in Cleveland in 1956?
Batting lefty or righty?
Lefty or righty? To keep up with sports in New York, keep up with the times.
America's Paint Store. From color matching to custom paints. America's Paint Store. More choices than any other store. America's Paint Store. Home Depot. Nobody beats our prices. Guaranteed. On top quality Dutch Boy paints. We have all the Dutch Boy interior and exterior paints you'll ever need. We'll even mix hundreds of custom colors absolutely free. America's Paint Store. It's in only one place. Home Depot. Where low prices are just the beginning.
What a time for our AT&T long-distance shooting information. John Starks, seconds ticking away from the deep corner, hits the 3 that gave the Knicks some breathing room. The other end of the court, Doc Rivers sees Charles Oakley, who powers his way in for success on that layup. Charles can't hold it in either. Jumps up and down, then goes to see his nemesis, Larry Johnson, and tell him how he feels.
Atlanta defense, 50 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Oakley trying to strip Gill. Here's Gill setting up Johnson. Hits the reverse, and the Knicks lead is now 3, 101 to 98. We're down to 40 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Starks looking for help as they double up, and he has to call a timeout. Starks and Mason in a conversation. The Knicks trying to straighten things out.
Starks expecting Mason to come up and help him.
I got you, and you got me. We go together so naturally. There's nothing we can't do. I'm so much better with you.
Canon, the leader in office technology and MCS, a Canon subsidiary known for its responsive service. They're a team you can count on. Canon Technology and MCS service. One is a great reason to buy the other.
So much better with you.
The weapons are deadlier. The romance is sweeter. The passion is hotter.
Kiss me like you've never kissed me before.
And the explosions are bigger.
Keeps going and going.
Hot Shot Part 2. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
29 7/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 3-point lead on the Hornets. They'll have 11 on the shot clock. It is Knick ball when we resume following the timeout. The Knicks hoping to end the series tonight in 5. A win by the Hornets. It goes back to the Hive in Charlotte for game number 6 on Thursday night. And as we mentioned earlier, beginning with Sunday, be it a game 7 against Charlotte if this series continues, or a game 1 of a Knicks-Chicago Eastern Conference Final Series, MSG Sports Desk will have special Knicks playoff coverage immediately following the game on Sunday, although it's a network game on NBC. Following the game, we'll hear from Pat Riley at the normal coaches news conference, also the opposition coach. Interviews all hosted by Al Troutwich, John Andres. The entire MSG staff will be on hand. That'll begin on Sunday. Oakley inbounds. Hill went for the steal. Shot clock at 8 as Smith shoots. Smith chasing with Johnson. The save by Johnson, but he stepped out of bounds. And Alan Briscoe off the bench, very upset. He felt that Johnson was pushed out, but does not get the call. That's the best possible play for the Knicks because 22 seconds remain. Starks surrounded and called for the timeout. Both teams are now over the foul limit. The Knicks have been over right throughout. As a result, the Hornets have gone to the line 17 times in this fourth quarter alone. They've hit 15 of 17. That's a vital stat. And the Knicks only 2 of 3 from the line because of the early foul trouble.
Knicks in total control of the situation right now with the 3-point lead. 20 seconds to go. The Hornets thinking about how they can get their hands on the ball, or the Knicks will who to foul perhaps when the Knicks inbound the ball. And right now the Knicks want to massage the clock as long as they can, or draw the foul and make sure the ball is in the hands of their best foul shooter. John Starks has come up big in that situation, so you would think that the Knicks would be very happy to have John handling the ball.
Down to 20 seconds remaining. Following Knick basketball and our post-game coverage, it'll be Mike and Willow live from the play-by-play. Our packed lineup: John Lovitz, Matt Modine, Rob Morrow, New Jersey Nets coach Chuck Daly. They'll be joining Mike Francesa and Willow Bay live from the play-by-play following our post-game coverage. The Knicks and the Hornets going down to the final seconds. The Knicks 101 and the Hornets 98. 20 and 6/10 seconds to go. The Knicks are down to 1 timeout left. The Hornets have 2 remaining.
You'll notice a lot of cone heads in the audience, Marv. At halftime, someone was promoting a product, and in order to do it, they gave lots and lots of cone heads out. I'll get you one later.
Thank you.
We want the Bulls, we're hearing.
Yes, back in Chicago, the Bulls watching this one with great interest after wrapping up the Cavaliers last night on that last-second jump shot by Michael Jordan to make it a 4-game sweep.
Mason should set a pick for Starks the way it looks right now.
Charles Oakley requesting more time from more space from Alonzo Mourning. And the inbounds results in a foul on Wingate. So Starks will go to the line.
Mason did set the pick, but as it turned out, Starks didn't need it. And the Knicks have to be happy with John going to the line.
Starks 3 for 3 from the line tonight. For the season, just under 80%. Hornets wasting no time and giving that foul. They'll take a chance right here with 20 seconds remaining. That's the important one. It gives the Knicks a 4-point lead.
Don't you wish you were at the foul line now, Marv, representing New York and the Knicks?
Not necessarily. And Starks hits the 2 clutch free throws. Now the Hornets call for time. So they are down to 1 timeout left. 20 seconds to go. And the Knicks lead by 5.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud.
The U.S. Postal Service will pick up 1 or 100 or 1,000 priority mail and express mail packages for just $4.50. That's per pickup, not per package. And we'll even pick up heavy ones. You'll get express mail next day and 2-day priority mail delivery at some of the lowest prices around. So call for a pickup. It's like getting a moving van for $4.50.
We deliver for you.
Well, what do you think?
I think I feel safe in that car.
What about the money?
What about the lease?
Yeah, it's a good lease. Can you really see us in a Mercedes?
Definitely.
The win-win lease is available on selected 300 class models. Visit your authorized Mercedes dealer for details.
The Knicks 103 on the Hornets 98. 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Both teams down to 1 timeout left. John Starks hitting the 2 free throws to extend to the 5-point lead. Gill will throw in.
Starks does a big job on Curry. He's the killer.
Did not want to commit a foul on the 3-point shot. Bose gets it back. We're down to 12 seconds. That's Gill. A 3-pointer for Kendall Gill. It's a 2-point game. And again, the Hornets give a foul. Kendall Gill drilling the 3-pointer. Gill called for the foul. With 10 and 2/10 seconds to go, once again, Starks to the line.
This is amazing. Kendall Gill has spent this series frustrated with his jump shooting. He has been so ineffective with his long-distance shooting and any kind of jump shooting whatsoever.
And Gill tonight with 26 points. He has had an excellent game.
Been a 36% shooter against the Knicks in this series and hasn't made a 3 until now.
Starks 5 for 5 from the line. And John Starks extends to a 3-point lead. Hornets do have 1 timeout remaining. John Starks coming through here down the stretch at the foul line. No. And again, he hits 2 of 2. The Hornets use their final timeout. The Knicks lead 105 to 101 with 10 and 2/10 seconds remaining. And I would think the point that Pat Riley is drilling home is on a 3-point opportunity by Charlotte. Do not commit a foul. Do not get near your man. You want to bother him a little. No foul for a potential 4-point play.
Well, Starks has done a great job at the foul line. Now he's going to have to think about defense if he's matched up against Del Curry, because Curry is the man who should be shooting the 3. Take a look at John Starks shooting that last foul shot. And he was happy, as was Patrick Ewing, the Knicks' biggest cheerleader right now. During the season, Patrick only fouled out of 2 games, but he's happy to greet John Starks on his return to the bench.
Ewing with only 9 points. That's his low since a 4-point game last season against Dallas. And Patrick Ewing leading the cheers from the bench. Also, I would think that Pat Riley wanted the ball in the hand of John Starks on those inbounds. You want him going to the line. Either John or Doc Rivers, although Doc has been off at the foul line tonight. 2 out of 5 from the line.
Memories of John Starks at the foul line in clutch moments are all good ones, and you know that's how Pat Riley thinks as well.
Ten and 2/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knicks 105, the Hornets 101. The Knicks seeking to wrap it in 5 and move on to face the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference Final. Mourning, looking for the 3. Down to 3 seconds, down to 2. Mason stripping Gill. Bad reaction by Mason, though, as Gill ends up on the floor. 9/10 seconds remaining. Anthony Mason celebrating as the Knicks defeat the Hornets 105 to 101.
Nice reaction, Starks to Muggsy Bogues. A lot of good feeling there, however, and you can see with Ewing and Alonzo how these very tough competitors feel.
Doc Rivers over to shake hands with several members of the Charlotte Hornets. And the Knicks have knocked off the Hornets. It was not easy. A very difficult series for the New York Knicks against this 5th-year expansion ball club. The Knicks have made it 25 straight wins here at Madison Square Garden. They win the first game 111-95. Second game they take in overtime 105-101. Game 3 last Friday night in Charlotte. The Hornets with that double overtime victory 110-106. Game 4 on Sunday. Knicks win 94-92 on the last second shot by Blackman. That's the final play. That's an immature reaction by Anthony Mason. And then the Knicks do react in, I would say, more gentlemanly fashion as the final buzzer sounded, as the Knicks defeat the Hornets 105 to 101. Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing, as it turns out, will next meet at the McDonough Gymnasium on the campus of Georgetown sometime during the summer months. The Knicks now look to Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the Chicago Bulls, with that series beginning on Sunday here at the Garden. We'll be right back.